So let's talk about League One to kind of give you an idea on how this preview is going to be structured because we have 17 teams now. Rest in peace, Tormenta. We don't want to have a 2 hour to 2.5 hour long show. So we're dedicating roughly around 5.5 minutes to each team, a little more, a little less, give and take. So that's going to be kind of how we structure this so it doesn't get too long for the people who want to watch the full thing. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about our predicted table. For the USL show rankings, we had Omaha first, AC Boise second. We got Spokane Velocity third, Portland Hearts of Pine in fourth, Chattanooga Red Wolves come in fifth, Fort Wayne FC joins us in sixth, Greenville Triumph in seventh, and the defending champions, One Knox, are in the final playoff spot in eighth. The first to miss out are Alex's Richmond. We got Sarasota Paradise. Then we got Charlotte Independence, New York Cosmos, the Ford Madison, Corpus Christi, FC Naples, AV Alta, and with the wooden spoon is going to be Westchester SC. What do the fans think? Well, the fans and us are very different. With Portland in first, no bias at all. We have Omaha second, Spokane also in third. One Knox, the defending champions. The fans have them in fourth. Boise come up in fifth. Chattanooga in sixth. FC Naples in seventh. AV Alta in eighth in our final playoff spot. First team missing the playoffs is going to be Charlotte, then Fort Wayne, then Greenville, then Madison, then Richmond, then Sarasota, then Cosmos, then Corpus Christi, and in last with the wooden spoon is going to be Westchester. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the preview. We will be going to AC Boise, where I'm looking at the names on paper. I am looking at who their head coach is. And I'm going to ask an unfair question. Are we getting Westchester on this lineup? And what I mean by that is last year we thought that Westchester was going to be the best expansion team ever because they brought in superstars of League One. It obviously turned into a wooden spoon victory for them rather than lifting silverware. Is there any world that's happening again here, Alex?
I'm going to say no because the factor here is Nate Miller, the coach. Yeah. Like that's, I'm not trying to like slight who's the coach of Westchester last year. Was it Dave Dixon?
No, Dixon's at Greenville now.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to slight, the Westchester coach came in. It was his first head coaching gig. He had been an assistant in Charlotte for years. It just didn't, I guess the chemistry and everything just didn't really work out there. Nate Miller is bringing in all of these players that have been successful for him before. He is known to be a successful coach. Like I think that's the factor here that's going to keep them from turning into Westchester with this roster.
For me, I mean, you're looking at players and you're just looking at names and it's just unbelievable. You're looking at Moshabane, you're looking at Brito, you're looking at Katsushun, you're looking at Bali, Adams,
Kroll, Dengler, Ricketts.
Ricketts. You're throwing Ricketts in as John has it as a predicted 3-back, which is what Boise did with Ricketts, who's typically a right wing back, starting over Yao, who was fantastic in its own right. But Ricketts looking to be that ball-carrying center back, not too dissimilar to Arthur Rogers when NOCO would go to a 3-back system years ago. It's going to be a very similar idea. There's a lot of players here who just feel fail-proof. Now, maybe the ceiling isn't second or first, right? Maybe the ceiling doesn't happen, but it feels like there is a hard floor for this team and it's above the playoff line.
Yeah. And the only hang up I have at this time, which I'm sure will be resolved over the next few days, is there seems to be a little bit of a lack of depth in the offense. These are some solid players up there, but who's stepping in if somebody gets hurt? That's just one unanswered question that, like I said, over the next few days, we'll probably hear some more announcements and that'll be resolved. I think the announcement earlier today was a defender from Vermont Green. So that doesn't help up front, but they got the defender of the year from USL League 2 to come in and back up Kroll, Dengler, and Ricketts. And that's not too
Yeah,
shabby.
you're talking about Musa and Dai. That is who
Yep.
they got from Vermont Green, and I mean he was unbelievable up there. One of the many great players to go through Vermont Green. I feel like Vermont Green and Missouri State are kind of what feeds League One. And so if you're getting the person that they are calling Mr. Vermont Green, you've done pretty well for yourself in terms of getting a quality player.
Yeah, Vermont Green is feeding multiple leagues this year.
No kidding. So I love what Nate Miller has. I think that we've seen him do what he's done before with the Loyal and with the Lansing team that was around for a while. So he knows League One as well. Granted, that was at the very beginning. What I'm a little concerned about, and this is just me not knowing the ins and outs and not being comfortable with everybody yet. I'm looking at their goalkeeping position where when the Loyal were who they were, when they were the best of the, like when they were running at the top of tables, you were looking at Coque Vegas, who was equal part midfielder as he was goalkeeper. And he was a fantastic goalkeeper. We saw that with Garcia as well, but maybe not to the same degree. I wonder if Nate Miller is going to rely on Garcia the way he relied on Coque Vegas in the past. If he does, I wonder if they're going to rely even more on Ricketts to be that ball carrying defender. Because while Dingler and Krul have that about them, it'd definitely be Ricketts be the one that you want the ball at their feet up those three. That's just something I'm kind of keeping an eye on.
Yeah, and it's not too shabby to bring in Joseph Andima from Clemson to be your backup keeper. I mean, I think he can probably step right into the pros.
Yes. Do you have any other final thoughts with AC Boise?
Yeah, just waiting to see who else they announce this week to fill in those backup spots.